Artist equals vendor equals birds. And you can't superstar and sing until you comprehend this. Okay, let's go.
When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
What you say now?
When you talk money, I can hear you. You ain't got money, that's a cold blood. When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
I coulda let a bill collector, finance director, like the banks ain't lending out doubt. When you ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't hit on my.
Hey, Bubble on deck. I'm your host, Tamara Bubble, aka the I Hear Money Coach, aka your favorite sync superstar. Yeah, look, aka a vendor out here in these sync streets. Like this episode, we finna talk vendors, businesses, and how that equates to being an artist. Look. Can I tell you what time it is before we get started? Look, real quick, it's subscribing time. If you're new to this podcast, cool. This is all you got to do. Leave me a 5-star review. Look, a star for every finger you got. Leave me a 5-star review for this podcast. Yeah, because I'm finna bring these gems to you. Look, whether you listen to the whole episode, whether you listen to some of it, you're going to catch a gem or two. Look, stay here for another 30 seconds. You just... I think that's a gem she gave me. That's how they be coming. Little steady throughout the podcast. So I prefer you watch the entire episode. But if you don't, look. In case you thinking, I'm an artist and I'm not finna listen to her talk about no vendor. I'm not finna listen to her talk about no start no business this episode. Look, if you don't plan on staying too long, could you do me a favor during subscribing time and invite an artist that understand that they want a superstar? Look, when you know you want a superstar, you at least need to get the information. So go ahead and invite the artist that's willing to learn and willing to prosper because they willing to execute on the information that they learn. Could you do that for me during subscribing time? Look, let me tell you how subscribing time works. It runs throughout this entire podcast. So look, throughout the entire episode, you can share this episode. You can like it, you can comment on it. Look, invite somebody that need to know how to become a vendor so they can make this money in the sing streets. Okay. Even if you don't plan on staying. Toodles. Yeah. Anyway. Because I'm trying to tell you now, this episode, look, the last episode, the next episode, every single episode in this podcast, it was created with 4 goals in mind. And can I tell you, look, I was thinking about the goals of a superstar. I wasn't thinking about this podcast. So I could get out here and teach you every single thing I know so you can get a placement. Look, I got a placement in 1999. Look, I got one more placement in 2005. Look, I can't relate to that. I'm trying to teach you how to superstar. I want you to have so many placements coming in. You don't remember. Well, look, I had one last week. Look, I got one this week. Look, I got 8 2 months ago. Look, tell them how you superstarring. That's what I'm teaching. That's the goals of this podcast. So could we go through the goals and then get into the show? Yeah. Anyway. Goal number 1 is to save you money in your sync business. Can I tell you, I think this episode is like lining up with goal number 1. I'm not fully sure because I think, look, let me keep talking. Goal number 2 is to make you more money in music licensing. That's the goal of every episode in this podcast. I'm trying to tell you. Goal number 3 is to transform your mindset. And so where I'm a little bit confused is whether this episode, applies to goal number 1 or goal number 3. But I actually think it connects to both of them. And you're going to see why in a few. Yeah. Anyway, goal number 4 is to activate your superstar. And look, goal number 4 happens automatically. If you're watching each and every single episode of this podcast, if you just joined me, go ahead, look, pause this episode, start back at episode 1, get your pen in your pad and get ready to take notes because I don't do nothing but give gems on every episode. Okay. If you've been here for a minute, look, you got superstar all in it. You came here to get more game on sync gems, and you just look, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah. I'm trying to teach you something that's going to take you somewhere because you ain't going nowhere and you plan on watching every single episode. Now, I gotta tell you this because whether it's your first episode or you don't watch every single episode, I haven't introduced you to the sponsor. Look, I haven't introduced you to why these gems are being brought to you. Anyway, I need to mention the Sync Superstar Academy, and I need to mention them because look, they got a challenge. It's called the 24-hour Sync Superstar Activation Challenge. That look, if you're ready to superstar, if you got a couple coins with you, look, could you spare some knowledge to go ahead and make some more money? I'm trying to tell you, you're going to make way more money than the amount of money you got to invest in this challenge. Anyway, if you're trying to superstar, look, if you want to learn it this year, if you want to learn it before everybody find out about sync and then there's too many people doing it. Yeah. Anyway, if you have look, if you take this challenge, it don't matter if everybody and their grandmama do it. Can I tell you, you're going to still get past them? Can I tell you, you're going to get more placements? Look. I'm trying to tell you, it don't matter what genre of music you make. And that's why I had to introduce you to the sponsor. Because look, there is game out here that like not everybody knows it. I'm trying to tell you, if they know it, they would do it. If they know it, like I know it, they would sell it to you anyway. Look, I ain't gonna keep telling you about that. Just know that there's a challenge out here called 24-hour Sync Superstar Activation Challenge. If you visit syncsuperstar.com and use offer code YES, you finna save you some money and still superstar. Look, in 30 days or less. Look, in a couple of weeks, you gonna know what I know anyway. Okay, I need to talk about this disclaimer though. I gotta tell you this before we get into the show. So I gotta tell you this. Look, I'm gonna give this episode, I'm gonna give you probably a little bit of tax strategy. Look, we're gonna talk a little taxes, a little businesses, a little legal talk. And I guess to tell you before we get started, I'm not your lawyer. Look, let me say it soft and sweet. I'm not your CPA, baby. You got to go get your own CPA. I can't. Look, I can give you gems. I can give you free sync game. I can give it to you in the form of a podcast. Look, for educational purposes only. Look. This is not professional legal business or tax advice. I got to say this. And now we're going to go talk about your business that you should have open. Bubble on deck.
When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
What you say now? Hey. You ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't hit on my. I keep it moving like the tax collector, like the credit checker, let the whole world pay full price. And if you ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't say that's right.
Okay, now look, I'm not gonna take up all your time on this beautiful, sexy Monday, or look, whatever that you call this. If you late, look, you late. Be quiet. We finna get into this anyway. Yeah, hello superstars. Look, we finna talk about the fact that you look, just because you call yourself a little artist, just because you call yourself a little, and I emphasis on the little. Just because you call yourself a little songwriter, look, a little producer, I'm going to tell you what you truly are. Okay, in this sync game, look, in this music industry, even if you don't know about sync, you should know about sync. But anyway, if you never heard of sync and you still found your way to this podcast, God bless you, because I don't know how you got here. Anyway, we're going to talk about what you really is, okay? Because what you really are is a business. What you really are is a vendor. And I'm finna break you down why this all makes sense and what you need to do next. Anyway, the way I want to open this podcast up, I want to use a little quote. I want to use a fellow artist. Yeah, that is a business. I'm finna we finna talk about Jay-Z real quick. I ain't gonna spend too many minutes because I don't name drop too much. I ain't gonna spend too many minutes on this, but I want to talk about a song lyric that he has that literally summarizes his entire existence. Look, it summarizes his entire presence. Can I tell you, it summarizes his entire legacy? But it don't just apply to you, it applies to me too. Look, it applies to the superstars listening. Yeah. So there's a lyric in a song of his that goes a little something like this. I know you heard it, and if you didn't, okay, you finna hear it now. Yeah. It goes a little something like this. I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. And look, I got to break it down because somebody one of y'all done heard this quote and y'all said when you was listening and it didn't sit right with your spirit because you was wondering like, why is he saying the same phrase twice, talking about like he doing something? Like that don't make no sense to me. He just said he was a businessman. Now he's saying he a businessman. That don't make no sense. And let me tell you, that makes perfectly good sense. Look, when you out here rapping in these streets, there's a thing called a double entendre where you can say the same line and mean two completely different things. That's the sexy thing about rap. You just be doing a whole bunch of metaphors and similes and stuff and having multi-meanings with the same phrase. It's quite sexy. Look, I would know. Anyway, can I tell you that phrase is saying that as an artist, he's not a businessman and just get up every day, put on a suit and go to the studio and do his job. Look, this ain't no corporate America with this creative. Okay, with your creativity, you ain't in corporate America. Anyway, but you got a corporation. It's just unincorporated. Now, let me explain why. So, I'm not a businessman. I don't put on the suit and go to work every day, right? Suit and tie, go to corporate America. I'm a business. As an artist, he is solidifying the fact that his very artist brand is a business in and of itself. Okay. Now, the reason why that makes so much sense, and it doesn't just apply to him. Look, can you understand this man? Look, went from music to billionaire. Okay. At some point in time, you have to know that the lyrics that he is saying actually make sense. He's not just a businessman and does music for a living. He's an actual business. That's a man. So it applies to women too. Look, don't get on me too on this episode. Okay, look, I ain't got to explain man versus woman. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the premise of the business man is like when you are an artist brand, you are in fact a business. Look, you might not be profitable yet. Look, you ain't publicly traded. Look, we can't get you off the stock market, but you are privately owned and closely held as a business. The thing is, you just haven't started your business officially. Look, you're just not registered. Look, let me give you an example. Let's talk copyrights. As soon as the song is created, look, the copyright exists. It literally forms as the song is created. Okay. It's just not registered with the Library of Congress. Okay. Look, when you have a song, but it ain't copywritten yet, it just means you didn't register it yet. Look, the protection is not there. The additional protections are not there. But even when the song is created, if you haven't copyrighted yet, it still has some protections on it, believe it or not. Yeah. Anyway, copyright your music. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to keep moving because that's a whole nother episode. But what I want to tell you on this episode is why you and how you are a business. Okay. So the best way I can do this, because look, last couple episodes, let me talk about what we talked about. And then I'm going to tell you what we fitting to discuss. Okay. Because episode 48 was the life of a sink, right? And I covered in that episode. If you haven't watched it, please go back. If you haven't watched it, I covered in that episode the life of a sink from the moment a song is created to the very moment it airs on TV. Everything that must go down. Okay, there was 3 phases covered on there. Then episode 49 was the life of a sink part 2, collections. And so this covered from the moment it was aired on TV until the moment the money hits your bank account. Everything that got to go down. Yeah, I know y'all like that episode. Anyway, in episode 49, we discussed the fact that you are and got to become a vendor in order to get paid. So I hope you paid attention. If you didn't pay attention, go back and watch it again, because I'm telling you, it got to happen. But I couldn't go into good, juicy details. So I wanted to do this episode to explain the importance of you being a vendor. And I need to break it down that you as a vendor just means you are a business. Now, yes, you can. I'm going to just be 100% clear. You can do sync, look, and be a vendor as just a human being, as an artist, and keep flinging your social security number all around these streets. Look, I'm trying to tell you, somebody gonna steal your identity. Anyway, they probably gonna steal your check at one point too. Anyway, yeah. This is not for this episode. I'm just warning you. I'm just letting you know to start your sync biz now. And here's why. You're already a business. Okay. Could you do me a favor and could we just look at any successful artists? Can I tell you, even if they are DIY, they still have a business. Here's why. They're outsourcing the work to other parties. Now, look, most successful artists, especially ones that sign to a label, not only are they a business, but they got a whole team around them. Okay. Usually, look. Anything from management to lawyers to look, accountants to look, promo people, look, they sometimes have DJs on payroll. Can I tell you that anybody can be paid out here in these streets? Yeah. Anyway, however they get their team together, they may have volunteers. I don't know. Look, I'm trying to tell you, when they say they have a team around them, that is them admitting and owning the fact that they are indeed a business. Okay. And I'm trying to tell you, the successful artists have a team. Look, even if you indie, even if you DIY, you just outsource. You just paying individual people. They're not on your team and maybe like getting a cut of your work or something. I don't know how it all works. Look, you set up your structures how you set up your structures. I'm just telling you what you need to be in order to get paid in sync. Look, in order to superstar. If you want a placement or two, don't set up no business. You ain't got to do that. Look, you ain't got to become nobody vendor. Just give your songs to an agent or two and sit back and see if you get a check from it. Anyway, for the artists that want a little bit more control in their career, that want to dictate their success and actually demand their success through their work ethic. Okay, this episode's for you. Yeah. Now, I talked about Jay-Z in his phrase. I also want to talk about just vending in the purest form, because like I said, episode 49 covered what you need to do in order to become a vendor and get paid from these production houses, from these ad agencies, from whomever. Look, if you getting in checks and things, you need to have a business set up. I'm gonna talk about all these reasons, but I'm gonna talk about first. Let me back it up, because I want to talk about the vendor. Okay, in its purest form. A vendor is a business. The simplest way I can explain this is think outside of sync for me real quick. Think of a vending machine. And when you're thinking of this vending machine, I just need you to look at the sole purpose of a vending machine. Yeah. You got to know that's a business. There are plenty of people with vending machine businesses. Look. All you need is a little block, a slab of space, a floor point on a wall. Look, and set up your machine. I'm trying to tell you, business will be done. And look, and a human ain't even got to be there. Look, this is how simple business is and vending is. Okay, the process of vending is sales. Look, it's transactions. Look, there's snacks. Look, they got snacks in a box. And if you put your money to it, they're going to exchange them snacks for your money. The transaction has happened. The vending has happened. Look, the vend has happened. The sale has occurred. Business is taking place. Okay. So when I'm telling you, you have to become a vendor in sync to collect your payments, the license is the sale. You have licensed your music to a production and they finna give you money for it. You got to become a vendor to accept this money. Yeah. Now look, let me tell you something. When you in America, right? Whether you got a job and you making income, look, America gonna hit you with the income tax. Yeah. Listen, when you an artist, can I tell you, Uncle Sam want a cut of your sync money. Yeah. He don't care if you an artist or a business or whatever. But can I tell you, he could finna tax you regardless on your sync income. Okay, now, here's what I need to tell you. That Uncle Sam finna tax you regardless on the money you make. Now, if you have a business set up, you can hold on to some of that money. Look, you might be able to hold on to all of it. Yeah. Yeah. Can I tell you, Uncle Sam don't care about the individual. Look, Uncle Sam give you a few things as an individual. You get married, you get some deduction. Look, you buy a house, you might get a little interest deduction. Look, they got little basic deductions for the individual. Can I tell you, Uncle Sam got loopholes and tricks. Look, Uncle Sam let you do some strategies and planning when you a business. Can I tell you, I done told you, you already got to pay taxes on this income you finna make. Look, if you don't do nothing further, you just gonna pay a tax rate on that income. Now, if you got a business, you can deduct all the expenses you've been laying out as an artist. This is the reason why you need to start your sync biz now. Look, visit syncsuperstar.com if you don't have that guide. I need you to have that business open today. I need you to have that. Look, you don't know when the placement gonna come in. I need you to be up and running and look in business before the placement get here. Look, because look, when you start spending money in pursuit of your music career, you already in business. These are business expenses. Look, can I tell you? Look, the Sync Superstar Academy got a book called Sync Biz Tax Deductions. I literally have listed out every single thing I could think of. Look, every single thing I be deducting. Yeah. Anyway, all types of tax planning ideas up in this book. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to let you keep your sync money. If you're going to superstar in these streets, you can't give all the money you make from sync to Uncle Sam. I'm trying to show you how to keep it. Okay. So now that book is out there in these sync streets. It's called Sync Biz Tax Deductions. Visit the Sync Superstar Academy to go get that book and get you saving your money as a business. Look, I'm trying to tell you right now. As an artist, you can go to the studio every single day. Look, pay some money for some studio time. Look, You can buy some equipment at home. Look, pay some money for some equipment so you can record at home. I'm telling you, these expenses are deductible if you got a business set up. Now, if you got a business set up and you done figured out how to, look, get you some sync placements, you finna say, look, you finna keep some of that money because you done been outlaying money to create your music. Yeah. Look, you been outlaying money to pitch your music. Yeah. When I tell you that book got every deduction you could think of. Anyway, look, I'm trying to teach you how to keep this money and you don't want to know. Anyway, the whole sole goal and purpose of being a business is just for the tax savings. Look, it's just for tax strategy. It's just for tax planning. I'm trying to tell you, you're going to keep some of your money. Look. Okay, so the business aspect of it. Look, let me say this. In its purest form, you don't stop being an artist because you start a business. You are the product in your business. Look, your music babies is the product in your business. And that's what you finna be out here in these streets selling to the people. That's what you finna be out here vending. Look, that's what you becoming a vendor for. Yeah, so you can get this money. Okay. So yeah, at the end of the day, when I say artist equals business equals vendor, that simply means that you are a music vending machine. Look, you are a vending machine filled with music babies that these music buyers can come and just buy up. Look, and give you all the money. But you don't want to hear it. You don't want to save on taxes. You finna pay up all your sync money, ain't you? This why you can't superstar. I'm trying to tell you. Bubble on deck.
Look, if you're broke, don't talk to me. I said if you're broke, you can't talk to me. Hey,
I only hear money, babe.
You talk money, I